Hello, I'm Georgia Alfredas.
And I'm Dave Mathews, and this is What's Next, Wall Street.
This is a show about winning trades.
Right, we're here to help you learn about trading in a fun and entertaining, yet useful way.
We're going to talk about all the hot, new, trending products and services that we think you'll not only want to use, but also invest in or play with or wear or just make your life better.
We'll also cover the fundamentals of those companies to make you an informed trader and make it easier to target investment potential. Plus, we'll share our thoughts on where the charts and indicators say a stock is going,
which can help you create a better tailored trade plan. Basically, we're going to keep you up to speed on what's next on Wall Street so you can stack your gains.
You can email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com or hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street with your questions. And we can even direct you to instructors and experts over at OptionPlayers.com who dig into those fundamentals. And now?
Then we were almost like, who's going to sing? And now it's time for the Stock Minute. We're going to get fired. TikTok, after not being banned by the former U.S. administration, is planning to move into the e-commerce sector in the U.S. Now, the app will allow its most popular users to share links to products and let users automatically earn a commission on any sales. TikTok also plans to give brands the ability to showcase catalogs of their products and roll out live stream shopping. Yay!
Well, Walmart established an agreement with TikTok so it could utilize its technology in conjunction with its own vision. In December, Walmart delivered a live stream fashion show which allowed shoppers to watch and purchase the products as they were showcased all on the same screen. It's like digital convergence.
I know, right?
This was along with Walmart's focus on healthcare and fintech, which is why we're bullish on the Walmart ticker.
Right, so it's becoming Pinterest. What's old is new again. Is that the deal? Okay, Dave, this is my favorite part of the show because, I'm a people person, and this is where we get to hear from you. You can email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com or hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street.
Okay, our first viewer's email comes to us from Jim in Chicago, and he writes, "Do you have any pointers on selling stops while trading? I always get so mad when my play reaches my stop, and it affects my next trade when I think about it."
Okay, so we're so glad you asked this, Jim. Most new traders feel that being stopped out is terrible and categorize it as a loss. That is the wrong approach. We suggest you think of your stop like a timeout in sports. Can you imagine playing a sport and having the ability to call endless timeouts without penalty? Yes. Well, when we trade, we have this luxury, so embrace it and utilize it. If you plan a trade to include your stops, you won't be surprised or caught off guard. It's as simple or as difficult as you make it. Have a plan and follow it. I know, easier said than done, but remember, nobody's gone bust by following stops, but they have definitely blown accounts by not following rules or stops. I hope this approach helps you with your mental preparation, Jim.
Right. So our next question comes from Shannon in Liverpool, New York. I bet they don't have that accent there, though.
Yeah, it's not New York.
She asks, what do traders mean when they talk about trading around their core position, and how is that beneficial?
Good question.
Yeah, well, trading around a core position has many benefits. First, it allows you to incrementally enter plays while having a strategy moving forward. When you want to enter a long position but are unsure if this is the absolute best entry, because most of the time you can't entirely be sure, then you should buy a portion of the desired position, allowing you the flexibility to add to it later. Now, as you incrementally add to this position, you can scalp around that core, which means you buy and sell while holding a decent portion of that position. You have to keep wash rules in mind while doing this, but that's a different discussion for a different email. But the benefits of this strategy allows traders to stack gains while accumulating a position. It also allows you to be somewhat wrong with your timing without having to pay a hefty price. It's very powerful. Hope you enjoy implementing this approach. So you may not be an investment pro yet, but we want to help get you there. So here's today's What's Next Wall Street pro tip, brought to you by OptionPlayers.com. Position management is paramount for positive trading results. One way you can better prepare for managing positions is to think of your portfolio as an army. You must protect your army and not take too many casualties during battles. Like war, you can always retreat from those positions, then return to battle later if things look more desirable, preferably with a better entry or situation. Holding plays and hoping while holding is the worst thing a trader can do, if that's not what your original plan was when buying. If you protect your troops or funds and understand that there are battles or trades to win daily, then you will much better have results and much less stress.
Okay. All right, mission accomplished. Accomplished. Okay, great questions. Keep them coming. You can email us at ww@optionsplayers.com, or of course you can hit us up all day long on social media at What's Next Wall Street. Okay, Dave, I gotta know, what's next with tech?
Well, were your parents the kind of people who told you to remove the photos of you doing keg stands from Facebook? Well, those boomers may have been the ones who unpatriotically stormed the U.S. Capitol while live streaming to social media. As it turns out, an open server configuration allowed the armchair police that make up the internet to download these videos before Amazon deplatformed, meaning denied access to Parler for using their hosting infrastructure. Furthermore, a developer took machine learning software from Google called TensorFlow that was used on those files to locate video frames of faces and save them as photos. The photos were then deduplicated and the metadata was extracted to find out where they were exactly on the Capitol grounds.
Wait, meta what?
Yeah, it's called metadata, which is machine information stored inside of a file. In this case, it was stuff like what type of camera phone was used, what time it was filmed, and exactly the GPS coordinates where it was filmed.
Oh my gosh, you mean all the information that the FBI would just love to have?
Yep. And the FBI states that nearly 300 people have been arrested for the insurgency, and many more are placed on a domestic terrorist list. But the video website was a project just for fun.
Wow, you know what? These are not people I'd want to rob a store with, because we would get busted quick.
That's true. Well, check out this site. It's organized as a bunch of photos, but you can click on them to see the exact video excerpt that it was taken from. This is called facesoftheriot.com. It's pretty cool technically. And with the quality of 1080p and 4K camera phones, the still frames are impressive, and they can even be used for human facial identification.
So you mean the computers don't know who the people are?
Well, the computers could do that, but this site does not do that. This site is using a face detection algorithm only. They would need another data set to compare those photos against, which is something that publicly traded Palantir could do. Now, I can't say that they haven't done this yet for this data set, but I don't know. They're a big digital problem solver for the government. Actually, many governments.
Okay, so how do I know if my photos are being used for a problem to solve by the government?
Well, the first thing you can do is delete all your pictures and references of any bit of your life from the internet.
What? Who's doing that?
Yeah, that could be a bit difficult and a bit over the top conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
But you're already too late, really, for doing that.
Exactly.
But there's a website out there to see if some of your sources are being indexed by these algorithms for recognition data sets. In fact, Facebook has agreed to pay a $550 million settlement over a class action lawsuit in Illinois for automatic suggestions. So check out this website. It lets you type in your username or your name if you've been tagged and register at the site stopspying.org.
Ooh.
Now they'll send you an alert if they find a site that's indexing your face. Now remember, this is only what you have on the public internet, and data sets like we mentioned before, the Palantir, those are on lockdown. So search for usernames like on Flickr at stopspying.org and set an alert, and then you should be protected.
Oh my gosh, stop spying, like creeper. I love that. Okay, Dave, it's time for my other favorite part of the show, consumer trends. Okay, because you know I'm like the biggest consumer. So America just spent $285 billion on luxury goods in a year, and that was just me. That number is expected to increase by $100 billion in the next 5 years. So who's buying all these designer goods? I just told you, me. No, millennials and Generation Z. Of course they are, because they don't have any real bills. They don't have mortgages, car notes, kids. Some do have college debt, but that's another show. Okay.
And there's this. Millennials from mainland China are a big driver of global luxury goods. There are more than 400 of them in mainland China. That's 5 times more than the US.
That's crazy. So I found this interesting. Americans tend to go for luxury accessories. Like, I already knew this. Bags, shoes, watches, and sunnies, with Gucci being the most preferred for accessories. And we like to throw the rollies in the sky.
Wave side to side as you keep your hands high. Give your girl the
Why
eye.
do you know this song? No, you are not my puppy. Stop. This is Biggie. What do you... Hey, I don't... what the heck? All right, so... Fun fact, why do you know every song? I don't care what it is. Okay, fun fact, which country has the most luxury goods companies? Of course, it's France. And you probably already guessed that the city is Paris with the most houses. Like, think about it. Hermes, L'Oreal, LVMH, which houses Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, Fendi, and Fenty. Fenty is actually Rihanna's line. Rapper Jay-Z just secured a deal with LVMH for his Ace of Spades champagne. Have you ever tasted it?
No.
Okay, me either. All right, and then you've got Kering, which houses Gucci, Alexander McQueen, Balenciaga, Saint Laurent, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the thing. Since millennials are driving this, buying luxury items has changed. They want to deal with companies who are socially and environmentally responsible. So a lot of millennials are buying used, or as I like to say,
pre-loved.
Yes. And now with all these luxury consignment sites, a new Gucci is just an app and your fingertip away.
Wow.
Easy.
So we've got boomers and Gen Xers getting rid of designer stuff they haven't used in decades.
Yeah.
And millennials and Gen Zers biting at the chomp to get these pieces that are now sustainable and also unique.
Right. So that's great. Cool. Okay, but this is the best part of the whole story, okay? I've been telling my husband for years that bags are investments. And now, according to a new report, luxury handbags are a better investment than rare whiskey, fine art, and stop the presses, cars.
Whoa. I've been investing in bourbon and wine and cars for years, but the only thing that those pay back with is a headache.
That's really sad. I'll get back to that later. Okay, so let me back up a little bit and be clear. Luxury handbags are the best investment of passion, according to Art Market Research. And I'll quote, luxury handbags are the fastest growing collector's area, and it's the first time that women are running the category. Not just any bag, though. It needs to be like an Hermes or Louis Vuitton or Chanel. Y'all, there are $200,000 Hermes bags. I'm not even kidding. So Birkin increased its value by 42% in the last year. Y'all, I still have a Louis Vuitton Speedy that I bought when I was 15 years old with my own money. Seriously. And I got a super cool Birkin for Christmas. So do I hold or sell? The stock, not the bag. I always hold the bag. Always.
Well, let's bring in our trading expert, Greg from Options Players, to give us the lowdown on dusty closet cowhides.
All right, so on these dusty closet cowhides, as you call them, or used luxury goods, or I wouldn't say used, we like to call them
pre-loved.
Secondhand
Secondhand sounds like it's a hand-me-down.
I'm just saying, if you look at, as an economist, if you look at the stats or the market share, it's going to say secondhand. It's actually like kind of a cyclic rotation of trends. And normally what it does is it happens after a economic recession or somewhere where people need to sell these luxury goods. So take the United States or the globe, really. In 2008, during that crisis, a lot of people had to sell these luxury items. Luxury items are exactly what they sound like. Stuff you spend extra money on. It's not a necessity, right? So after a while, everybody sells them. It becomes trendy to have them because they were cheaper. So everybody purchases them. You see people with them. And then sooner or later, that inventory of used items or secondhand items gets low, and scarcity drives. So now you don't have as much supply, but you still have the same demand. Price goes up, and that's definitely going to happen. So, that's just one way to do it. And It's also, I guess you could say, good for the environment, like you said.
I also think for these younger kids, what drives it is having something that nobody else has. Like if I've got a bag that you just can't go to the Gucci store. I mean, you can go to the Gucci store right now and buy as many bags as you want, but I want that bag that nobody else has. So part of it is them searching and finding just the perfect thing that nobody else is going to have.
Yeah, but
go ahead, Dave.
Well, the big thing with going to the store and buying that bag is it's going to drive the stock price up of LVMH and these holding companies, right? So do we buy that stock?
Well, the stock has gone up quite well for 2020. And it's kind of, I wouldn't have expected it, because a luxury good in economic terms, the price usually goes up when the average income of the individual or the population goes up. And that actually happened in 2020, despite being a pandemic. Through stimulus, unemployment benefits here in the United States, there was a massive growth in the mean income and average income. But the spending went down for the average person. So there was more saved. So there's a lot of money people do have saved for these little nice luxury vacations and items when they actually do go.
Yeah, but look at what happened with home improvements. Everybody got a new pool and a new garden.
Yeah.
And
well, because you had to stay home. You had to actually start enjoying your house.
But I don't know how many people like Georgia, were you buying dresses and things to go out? You'd think that would be like tied to the ability to go out.
I
you don't wear
plead
dresses.
I plead the fifth, so I didn't really buy anything.
She just bought like 3 dusty old cow bags. Is what it
Yeah,
was.
exactly.
And I know she's a holder on those too. She's
Oh,
not
I do
selling
not. I
those.
will not. So, but when people like Jay-Z and Rihanna, when these people, become a part of LVMH, does that, do something to the stock? Does it drive it up, or do people care? I don't. I want the bag because I love the bag because I think it's cool. I don't care if Jay-Z is a part of it, but do other people care so much that they're gonna, buy the stock?
Yeah, I mean, it's marketing. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you talk about social media. So normally you would have the old school marketing. You had newspapers, magazines, billboards. Now, you make a TikTok about it and it goes viral, and how many people view it? Millions and millions and millions. So even if a small fraction of them go over and purchase it, I mean, it's free advertisement unless you're paying, unless it's an endorsed celebrity. So there's nothing new to that. That goes, I guess, away from the economic or finance term, that goes more into fallacies, and you have your celebrity fallacy, right? So if a celebrity likes it, I must like it because I like that celebrity, right?
And think of the rise of the middle class in China. We said earlier, 400 million Chinese now have spending power that was unheard of 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
So do they have the same influence? I guess, they're watching the same TikToks and the same media.
Right. So, but here's my question to you, and this is the most important question of the night. How can I talk my husband into buying the Chanel bag and also getting the LVMH stock for me? Like, what? Not for me, but I'm saying, I want them both. So is it smarter to buy the Louis Vuitton or the stock?
Well,
the Louis Vuitton. Thanks. It was nice talking to you.
Exactly, right? I would say happy wife, happy life. And, you can get dividends from that versus, you buy the stock, she's still going to go buy the bag. She's just not going to tell you about it.
Oh my gosh. Are you reading my mind? Do you know me? This is so weird. No, so you think it's a great stock. Okay, that's good to know. And what about bags that are... Never mind, I'm going to stop talking to you about bags because my husband might be watching. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say this is the girl that probably has her trunk of her high-end SUV filled with dusty leather cowhides.
Are you my friend? Because I'm starting to feel like nobody here is my friend, okay? So I get it. We're going to secure the bag. And we're going to secure the stock and...
Secure the bag. Hold it for a rainy day.
Yeah. You know what? Let me tell you something. I seriously am like, this bag I bought when I was 15 is going to go to my granddaughter. She probably won't even care about it. Oh, you're like, oh, what?
A Speedy has to be this big.
It's very tiny. Yeah. But I bought it when I was 15. Y'all worked at the mall, and I saved. Actually, I knew the girl, and I gave her a discount on a leather French jacket, and she gave me a discount on Louis Vuitton. It's a long story, okay? Hit me up on social media. We'll talk, okay?
All right, so that's what you call securing the bag.
Yes, and you know what? I got the Speedy, so I got the receipts. That's kind of like securing the bag. Again, we'll talk later.
All right, special thanks to Greg at OptionsPlayers.com for providing us his analysis today. So much fun, especially the part when I get to
I get to say in your face, Steve, to my husband about designer bags. I told him. I knew it. So now we just need to study on designer shoes. Let's do that on the next show, okay? I'm Georgia Alfredas.
And I'm Dave Mathews, and we'll see you next time on What's Next Wall Street, and I'll have a new bag.